We've been looking at Paul's description of his prayer for the Philippians, and we've noted things like it started with desire, it overflowed into gratitude, it was driven by the joy that he had as he thought about the Philippians. And so Paul's trails off at the end in verse 4 to saying that he's been making his request for the Philippians to God out of joy. And then he explains in verse 5 why. Where does that come from? He says it's based on the koinonia that they have, the Philippians, in the gospel. So, what does the word koinonia mean? Oftentimes, you see it translated fellowship. And if you grew up in churches like I did, you may immediately have in your head like those potluck dinners after church on Sunday where all the great cooks in the church kind of quasi compete for who can make the best, like fried chicken or mashed potatoes. Really good stuff, but not really what koinonia means. Primarily, koinonia means to have a relationship with someone. It can describe the relationship between two friends, neighbors, within a community, within a family, even a husband and wife, and in some cases, sexual relationships. Most likely not what Paul's referring to here. Koinonia not only can mean the relationships, but the emotions that drive us into relationship. If you enjoy spending time with someone deeply, then you're going to have the relationship described by koinonia. Or it can also describe the emotions that we have in a relationship, the joy and happiness we get from spending time with each other. If you ever had one of those conversations at 2 o'clock in the morning with your spouse or a good friend, laughing, crying, sharing the deepest parts of your soul, you know the emotions that koinonia speaks to. And there's one other layer that you see described oftentimes in the New Testament. Here in this text, most modern English translations translate koinonia as partnership. And so, related to that, this love and this emotion and this altruism that we have as a result of our relationships and connections begins to overflow into taking care of each other's needs, giving to each other, sharing our goods with each other. That whole picture is koinonia. The question is what part of that is Paul speaking to here? We're going to let the ambiguity and possible lack of clarity live and see how he answers that question as we keep reading through the text. But notice, probably just gave us a hint as to what he's referring to. He's describing making requests on behalf of the Philippians because of an emotion of gratitude and joy and happiness. That's what's driving him to pray for the Philippians.